everyone, today I'm going to be talking about Saturn in Sagittarius. So this is part of my Saturn sign series. The last video was in Saturn in Scorpio, so you can check out the playlist called Saturn Signs on my YouTube channel to look at all the other Saturn signs, based on your chart. So today I'm going to be talking about Saturn in Sagittarius. So what happens when the slow-moving planet of Saturn is in the vivacious, fiery sign of Sagittarius. So if you want to know, just keep watching. Before I get started with the rest of the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I do natal chart readings. So I look at your birth chart, I look at the different planets, houses, aspects, and I tell you what kind of challenges you might be facing in your life. I also give you an action plan, which is basically a recommendation plan which you can follow every single day to get rid of these challenges and move forward in your life. I also do relationship compatibility or Synastry chart readings. So if you have a crush on somebody, if you're trying to get into a relationship, and if you want to know what it's going to be like, the two of you as a couple, you can contact me for a relationship compatibility reading. And I also do tarot card readings. So you can ask me a question related to any aspect of your life. It can be about your health, your relationships, your family, your home life, any aspect of your life, and you can contact for a tarot card reading. If you want to contact me for a reading, drop me a message on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Venusianscorp. And you can also drop me an email at astrolog111@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I posted both the links in the description box below, so be sure to contact me for a reading. Okay, so let's get started. So today we are talking about Saturn in Sagittarius. So first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about Saturn, what it is, what the energy represents. So Saturn is a slow-moving planet. It signifies delays and restrictions in our life. It signifies everything that we need to learn a lesson about. So that's why they say Saturnian lessons, because these are areas in your life where you struggle the most, and usually you start learning these life lessons after you're in your late 30s or early 40s. That's when it really starts kicking in, the benefits of this placement. So Sagittarius is it rules the 9th house of the zodiac wheel. The symbol is the centaur, which is a half horse, half human. So there is a bit of an animalistic quality to Sagittarius, the energy. The symbol for Sagittarius is the arrow. So we can already see that this is a very forward-thinking energy. It's a fire. It's a fire sign. Sagittarius is the last of the fire signs. So just like all the other fire signs, the water, earth, air, or fire signs, the last one in each of these is usually the most evolved out of all the three. So Sagittarius, out of the three fire signs, it would be the wisest out of the three fire signs. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, which has to do with travel, which has to do with spirituality, which has to do with higher learning, searching for the truth. Sagittarius is a truth-seeking sign, just like Scorpio, but Sagittarius is more about life experiences. So that's why a lot of Sagittarius people, they're very outdoorsy, they're very extroverted, most of them anyway. They like to explore life, and unlike the opposite sign, which is Gemini, which is about the details. So Gemini would be more about studies and academics and learning about life through that, whereas Sagittarius is more about the big picture, because it's ruled by Jupiter, which is about expansion, So Sagittarius is very much about learning about life through life experiences. So they like to go out there, they like to travel, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house of travel. So they love to travel, they love to experience new cultures, meet new people, learn new languages. So Sagittarius is very outdoorsy in that sense, but at the same time, they are very much about learning. They're very much about understanding the truth. Why are we here on this planet? What is our purpose here? So that's very Sagittarius. Now when you've got Saturn in Sagittarius, wherever Saturn is in your zodiac wheel, that's going to be the place where there is a bit of a bottleneck, where it's a bit of a challenge. Now I explained a little bit about Sagittarius energy a little while ago, and the reason I spent so much time on it is to give you a context And now we're talking about Saturn and Sagittarius. So Saturn is going to put a spoke when it comes to, so Saturn is going to put some challenges and restrictions whenever it comes to traveling, whenever it comes to learning to look at the bigger picture. So you may be the kind of person that is very caught up in the details. You may be very much a perfectionist. You may be very much about focusing on the fine print so much that you forget to look at the larger picture. What is the big message? What is my ultimate life goal? So what can happen sometimes is you may be so caught up in the details that it derails you from the overall picture in your life, like what you're doing to move forward. What is your ultimate goal? So those things can be compromised because you're so focused on the minutiae, if that makes sense. Saturn as a planet, it rules the 10th house, because the traditional ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. And Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is about public image, which is about status, which is about the way society perceives you because of what you've achieved in this life, your ambition, your drive. That's very 10th house. And Saturn rules these things. Saturn also represents the father figure in your life. So if the moon represents the mother figure and your childhood, Saturn represents the father figure. So Saturn and Sagittarius may represent that your father, the father in your life, may have been somebody who is very outgoing, very extroverted, who maybe taught you the value of going out there, exploring life, meeting new people. So he may have been very instrumental in you learning these things in your childhood. So he would not have been a very strict person. Because see, Saturn rules authority. Saturn rules structure and discipline. That's why it represents the father figure, because in the traditional society in olden times, the father used to be the one setting the rules for the children, and the mother or the moon is the more nurturing and loving aspect, if that makes sense. So Saturn is very much about authority, very much about structure, discipline, and laying down the rules. So the paradox here is Sagittarius is about none of these things. Sagittarius loves freedom. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is about expansion, which is about always looking at the brighter side of life. Sagittarius is extremely positive and optimistic sign. And Saturn is quite the opposite. Saturn is a pessimistic placement. The energy of the planet of Saturn is very much about glass half full. Glass half empty. So they don't really they like to keep a very realistic view on life. Whereas Sagittarius almost has rose-tinted glasses. They almost feel like no matter what, life is going to work out in their favor. That's a great quality to have, but when you've got Saturn in Sagittarius, you may struggle with this. Like you may struggle to be positive or optimistic in life. Or you may feel like whenever you try to do that, there is a setback. No matter how optimistic you try to be in your life, there's always some challenge that comes up. And it's not because the universe is throwing you on the sidewalk and trying to make life miserable for you. The real lesson here is for you to not be naive. It's good to be optimistic, it's good to be positive in life, but at the same time you have to be real about the situation around you. Take stock of the situation, which is what Saturn is trying to teach you here. Saturn is about authority, it's about discipline. And discipline is another thing that sometimes Sagittarius can struggle with, because Sagittarius is so gregarious, so vivacious. It's a very fun-loving energy, the energy of Sagittarius. So they don't really like people who try to cramp their style. They don't like the party pooper, if that makes sense. So Saturn can be a big party pooper. So when you've got Saturn and Sagittarius, you may feel like whenever you're trying to enjoy life, whenever you're trying to have, just go out there and enjoy life, that there's always something coming in the way of that. So it can be a little bit frustrating for you. Now in terms of careers, because Saturn rules the 10th house of career, something to do with travel, something to do with being in different cultures, the more diverse cultures you expose yourself to, the better it's going to be for you in terms of your career. So something like a travel writer, travel blogger, if writing is your thing, or just a path towards spirituality or philosophy. Things like that would be good career choices for you. Just anything that dabbles in these aspects will be really good as career choices for you. Because it's the ninth house of travel and spirituality and philosophy and higher learning. Now Saturn in Sagittarius, it is going to be a difficult energy for you to manage, because the energy of Saturn is that of being strict, being disciplined. It's a heavy energy, and Saturn is a heavy energy, whereas Sagittarius is just the opposite. It's this sunshiny, bubbly, vivacious energy which is full of life. So you can sometimes struggle with this placement because you may always feel like life is cramping your style. Like there is always something coming in the way of you really going out there and enjoying your life. So I feel like the lesson here is to keep doing what you do, like keep being the Sagittarius, keep honoring the Sagittarius energy in you, which is to travel more, to go out there, put yourself out there, meet new people, experience new cultures and learn new things and broaden your outlook towards life, because Jupiter is about expansion. But at the same time, keep a reality check around you, because Sagittarius can sometimes be a little bit naive. They can be positive to the point where it doesn't really serve them well. So I think the key lesson here is to utilize some of those Saturn qualities where you have a realistic view of life around you, where you don't get carried away by something that seems too optimistic, too positive, or too good to be true, and instead just take stock of the situation and be a little bit more realistic about things or practical about things. So guys, that's my take on Saturn in Sagittarius. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, you can subscribe to my channel. Just click on the red subscribe button at the bottom of this video, and you can also click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button, so that whenever I post a video, you get a notification in your inbox and you can stay tuned for all of the latest updates. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and my next video is going to be Saturn in Capricorn, which is going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye guys.